First presentation will be by Dr. Najendra Blubati, and will speak about single antiplatelet agent after PCI, platelet and TICO trials. Please.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So let's discuss about this. The topic allotted to me is about discussing on Twilight and Tycho trials. Let's move on. So why is it important to have a single antiplatelet strategy? It's very clear that as more bleeding happens, more ischemia happens, and more ischemia happens, more mortality happens. So bleeding is directly proportional to mortality, and more severe the bleeding, higher the mortality. This is clearly shown in this particular kind of systematic review, which showed that starting from BARC2, the mortality goes up much higher, and when we have a gastro severe bleeding, the mortality is maximum. This is the algorithm currently provided by ACC/AHA, updated in 2016. Many other studies have been published after that. As of now, they recommend to continue 6 months of antiplatelet therapy. It's a class 1 indication, especially in individuals who are having high bleeding risk and or significant over bleeding. If the patient has got any prior episode, we will try to stop it even before 3 months. After 6 months, continuation of DAPT in such individual is only class 2B indication. So why does it happen? Because there's a strong bond that happens between ischemia and bleeding. We need to uncouple the particular bondage that has happened between thrombosis and bleeding with do a DAPT strategy. So recent short DAPT trials include Smart Choice, Stops with DAPT2, Global Leaders, Twilight, and Tycho. So I will be focusing my discussion on Twilight and Tycho. What is Twilight? Twilight is ticagrelor with aspirin in patients with ticagrelor with aspirin alone in high-risk patients after coronary intervention. It's fun. It's conducted. It was conducted by Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. It was funded by AstraZeneca. The hypothesis of the trial was the provision of ticagrelor alone in selected patients after 3 months of DAPT with the ticagrelor and aspirin decreases the bleeding events with no effect on ischemic count. So they have got very, very strict inclusion criteria. The inclusion that the patient should have at least one of clinical criteria and one angiographic criteria that included clinical criteria included age more than 65 years, female sex, troponin positive acute coronary syndrome, established vascular disease, CKD with eGFR of less than 60. The angiographic criteria include multivessel CAD, target lesion recurring long stents, thrombotic lesions, bifurcation recurring two-stent strategy, left main proxial lesion, or any lesion that requires atherectomy. One of these clinical and angiographic criteria should be there for inclusion in this particular study. The exclusion, they have got a lot of exclusion criteria. Basically, they excluded any patient who has got very, very high risk for bleeding. That included patients who are taking anticoagulation. They excluded STEMI patients. They excluded cardiogenic shock patient. Any patient who are going for a planned repeat revascularization have been they had been excluded. This is the study design. The first 3 months is the enrollment period. Next 12 months is the randomization period. Next 3 months is an observation period. So they thought they want it includes 9,000 patients during the enrollment period. They thought 10% of the patient will be kind of eliminated from the randomization process because of various reasons. They thought they will be able to randomize 10% of 9,000 patients, which they were not able to do. Something around more than 22% have been eliminated here because of various reasons. We will discuss about it later. Around 7,000 patients have been randomized after 3 months. That's the point to be mentioned. After 3 months of taking dual antiplatelet therapy that included aspirin and ticagrelor. One group continued to have ticagrelor alone, other group continued to have ticagrelor and aspirin. They had a telephonic follow-up after a month. And after 6 months, they had a in-person follow-up. They checked the number of medications. And after 15 months, again, they had a follow-up in person. This is the study endpoint of the particular study. The primary endpoint being a superiority hypothesis that included BA, by Bleeding Academic Research Consortium, bleeding score 3, 2, 3, or 5 between 0 to 12 months after randomization. That is at 15th month of the study. And the key secondary point included kind of major adverse cardiac events that included death, non-fatal MI, stroke, between 0 to 12 months of randomization. It's a multi-continental study that involved 11 countries, 187 sites have been included, 610 patients, that is around 9% of patients were from India. They included 9,000 patients, as I told earlier. They were not, around 20% of the patients have been excluded because of various reasons mentioned here. Around 7,000 patients have been randomized. They ended up having nearly 3,500 and 3,500 in each arm, 3,500 in each arm. One received ticagrelor alone, other received ticagrelor plus aspirin. They followed this patient up for 15 months, that is what 12 months from the time of randomization. The adherence to a particular antiplatelet study included around 90% in both arms. There is no significant difference between adherence to study medications between the two groups. This is the baseline parametrics, demographics of the particular study. Ages are a mean of 65 with a standard deviation of 10%. It included almost 1/4 of patients were female sex. CKD was present in EGFR less than 60 was present in 20%, 16%, anemia was present in 20%, ACS presentation was there in 2/3 of the individuals. Again, the STEMI patients had been excluded here. Deletion morphology, multivessel disease was present for 64%, thrombotic calcification, any bifurcation was present in 10, 14, and 12% respectively. The mean stent length was, total stent length was with a mean of 40 millimeter in group 1 and 39.7 in group 2. And there was no significant difference between the parameters. The primary endpoint, as I told earlier, was BRC2, 3, or 5 bleed. Its intention to treat analysis cohort was 7.5% in the DAPT arm, with 4% in the ticagrelor alone arm, with a absolute risk reduction of 3.1%. A number needed to treat one harm, treat bleeding was 33, which was statistically significant. They again analyzed the BARC3 or 5, which is major bleeding. Again, they found an absolute risk reduction of 1%. That is the number needed to treat is equal to 50 here. They had classified the bleeding endpoints based on different societal guidance that included BARC, TIMI, GUSTO, and ISTH. All of them have been found to be statistically significant. Thereby saying that provision of ticagrelor alone was associated with statistically significantly reduced bleeding risk in these patients. For per protocol analysis for the major adverse cardiac event showed no difference between the two arms. And the pre-specified ischemic endpoints, individual ischemic endpoints, also was not significant between the two arms. That is, there is no ischemic difference between the two arms in relation to death, MI, or stroke between ticagrelor alone or ticagrelor and aspirin. Multiple subgroup analysis found no significant difference except for ACS patients, except for stable CAD patients, where they found that it actually favored ticagrelor. No other subgroup difference was identified. I could not see my PowerPoint now. Someone. Host disabled my PowerPoint.
So try again.
Can you reshare the screen?
Okay. Yeah, I got it. So there are a lot of limitations for this particular study that include the highly selective populations. It cannot be generalized to all the patients, number one. Number two, these patients who have been included in the study got randomized after 3 months of enrollment period. They tolerated DAPT for initial 3 months. That's a kind of most of the bleeding events that is going to happen with DAPT, or most of the ischemic event that is going to happen because of single antiplatelet therapy, that most likely it will happen during this particular 3 months. So lower than expected events in the ischemic arm in both the arms might. So that is one negative point for this particular study. To conclude, in high-risk patients who underwent PCI, in selected, I would say in a selected high-risk patients who underwent PCI, who have been randomized 3 months after taking aspirin Plavix, who have been randomized into single antiplatelet in the form of ticagrelor alone or dual antiplatelet therapy in the form of ticagrelor with aspirin, had significantly reduced bleeding risk in this ticagrelor alone arm without any increase in ischemic events in this particular study over a period of 1 year. So this was published in NEJM last year. After that, there are 5 studies that have come out, 5 subgroup analysis. 5 independent subgroup analysis. They found this called as twilight diabetes mellitus presented in ACC. There's no difference in there's no interaction between diabetic and non-diabetic in relation to the bleeding and ischemia in the specific study. Similarly, there is no difference between acute coronary syndrome versus stable CAD in relation to bleeding and ischemia. There's no effect of having a biodegradable polymer stent like Synergy versus durable polymer eluting regulating stents, other stents. There's no effect of complex CAD versus non-complex CAD. They've got their own definition of complex CAD versus non-complex CAD. All of these studies have been independently kind of presented or published after presenting the main study. I would like to show only one important slide about this twilight complex, which included among the total population of 7,000, 2,400 patients received complex definition, had complex CAD. Most of these patients had long stents, bifurcations, left mains, atherectomy, and they concluded that the effect of complex CAD on single antiplatelet and dual antiplatelet was not there, thereby saying that this is the primary conclusion of the study remains whole for these complex CAD patients also. So let me go to the TICO now. TICO was actually not published. It was presented virtually in ACC 2020. It is a multi-centric Korean study where they compared effect of ticagrelor versus with or without aspirin in patients with acute coronary syndrome who underwent PCI. So the primary, again, this is a superiority hypothesis study. In contrast to Twilight, where the primary outcome was BARC 2, 3, or 5 bleeding, here they defined the primary outcome as a NAC, net adverse cardiac outcome, that included bleeding and ischemic events. So it's a 38-center Korean study. It was conducted between 2015 to 2018. Inclusion criteria, all acute coronary syndrome patients.
Dr. Bhupati, sorry for interrupting. Dr. Bhupati, could you conclude in the next couple of minutes?
Yeah. So this is the flow chart consort diagram of the particular study, where they randomized 3,000 patients into a particular study into 1,500 in each arm. They found the same result like Twilight, where they concluded that the NACE net adverse cardiac event was significantly reduced by having ticagrelor alone in patients with acute coronary syndrome. The only difference between Twilight and TICO is this study, 1/3 of the patients had STEMI actually, but the complex coronary disease that was studied in Twilight was not studied here. The NACE was significantly different in the particular study just because the bleeding event was reduced. There's no difference between death, MI, cardiac or cerebral revascularization. Again, my subgroup analysis showed no difference. So they found that in patients who are receiving ultra-thin biodegradable polymer or Zyro stent in patients with acute coronary syndrome, ticagrelor monotherapy after 3 months of DAPT showed a significantly reduced NACE. The NACE was predominantly due to reduction in bleeding rather than reduction in ischemia, and there was no difference between the two arms in relation to ischemia. Thank you. This is the table that can differentiate Twilight and TICO. Multicentric international Korean multicentric Korean study, high risk selected patients, all ACS patients. Randomization happened after 3 months here, but here in TICO, randomization happened after PCI. The control arm included stable CAD2 in Twilight. Here, the control arm is acute coronary syndrome. The stents used there's no stent related restriction in Twilight. Here, it's only Zyro stent. The primary outcome is different, it's bleeding, but here it's a NACE. Result was showed almost the same. It's a combination of bleeding and ischemia. It's only the bleeding and ischemia separately. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We go for next speech by Sarat Chandra. We'll speak about role of low-dose rivaroxaban in coronary artery disease. What the data tell us, please.